Hello there, fellow NPCs. I am Scythe, and today we're going to continue to play the letter. Now, let's see. We are Ashton Fry, or something like that, his name is. And we have just managed to escape the BRC, the ghost that is haunting us. We got back, and I don't quite remember what happened after that. We haven't done any investigating yet. We just, right now I remember. We just went to bed, basically, and then we tried to reach Rebecca and Zach. So my guess is, since we couldn't reach them, there's a pretty big possibility that Rebecca is going to call us from the top of the roof today. Yeah. Let's go. More so when it's the people you care about.
Ash, did you really have to shut it like that?
This is not the first time I've seen Isabella like this. Standing casually by her kitchenette, a ladle in hand, keeping an eye on whatever's stewing on the stove, while humming a soft tune under her breath. 5 years ago, it has become a common sight after the three of them, including Zach and Rebecca, found a mutual interest in cooking. After that, whenever our schedule allows it, one of them will invite everyone to dinner or lunch instead of eating out. That's nice. Rebecca prefers it that way, healthier she claims. Zach's just too happy to be able to cook for everyone. Isabella on the other hand, as long as there's food, she's happy. Me? I've been banned from the kitchen ever since the pressure cooker incident. Oof. Yeah. Gotta be careful about those pressure cookers. Easy times. Good times. Right now, however, the scene brings an odd sense of normalcy, a strange fit with all of the things going on around us. Not unwelcome, only bizarre, I suppose. Isabella doesn't follow up on her question earlier, but she does raise an eyebrow my way when I take too long to answer. For that, I only offer a casual shrug in response and a short answer.
I've checked with Zach and Rebecca. I'm just waiting to hear back from them.
I'll add in a quip or two for her, if the timing for a joke isn't off or doing so won't be inappropriate. I don't want to alarm her either. There's no reason to. Yet. Story updated. That's always dangerous. Until I received an answer from Rebecca or Zach, whichever comes first. Oof. Nevertheless, it's clear she has a plenty of questions. It's right there in a subtle crease between her eyebrows and the inquisitive gleam in her eyes. Curious as she is, though, she decides against voicing all of her questions out. Instead, she shifts her attention back to the stove and gestures vaguely with her hand in the couch direction.
Well, if we're going to wait for them, don't stand around there. It's getting distracting.
You're just cooking. How am I distracting?
My parents are the same. I always found it more comfortable to just stand up sometimes and watch TV. And my parents, who were sitting down on the sofa, the couch, and watching TV, were stressed out like fuck about it. They were like, yeah, go and sit down, you're stressing me out. And shit like that. Yeah, I don't get it. I just enjoy standing up. It's more comfortable sometimes.
I don't know. Something might explode again, maybe. Zach's kitchen ban for you is also in effect here, you know. Now shoo, go. Stop hovering. You'll ruin the food. I'll be done here soon.
She leaves no room for an argument by swatting the ladle at me. And just like that, I've been kicked out of the kitchen. Left with nothing else to do, I drift back to her tiny living space and slump down on the couch. Closing my eyes, I allow the noise from the television to guide my thoughts. The ones I've been keeping at bay, freeing them from the cage I've built around them, so I won't have to think. One by one they trickle back into my consciousness, each more frightening and unnerving than the other. So many things going on. So many things happening. The papers we gotten from the BRC doesn't provide any comfort either. Seriously, is there even a point to those after last night? What will asking those people do? If anything, this only proved that there might be more copies of that dumb piece of paper. We have one here, But how many exactly is there out there? More importantly, how do we get out of this stupid mess?
Ashton.
Damn it. I haven't felt this kind of bone-weary exhaustion in years.
I don't want to think what might happen next in case I miss something. Shit.
Rebecca. Zach. Isabella.
They're all depending on me and...
Ash!
The voice snaps me out of my thoughts, abruptly wiping away everything running erect inside my head. Suddenly, Isabella's there, crouched in front of me when I crack an eye open. I haven't even noticed the exact moment when I bent over and buried my head in my hands. Figures why she's staring at me like I've fainted or something. The crease on her eyebrows grow deeper at my lack of response. Although she is merely staring at me, without saying a word, her expression says everything. So much for trying not to alarm her with bad news.
Sorry, I just spaced out for a moment. Don't mind me.
For a brief moment, she seems to accept that. Quietly she shifts, stands up, and takes the empty space right beside me. All done without a single comment. Then, next thing I know, she's gently pushing a bowl in my hands. The scent reaches me first, before I've gotten the chance to take in what she has just handed me. A faint sweet smell of cocoa wafts from the dish. Calming, comforting, despite the multitude of things bothering me. It certainly smells like the kind of food you'll eat on a rainy day. Though, from the get-go, it doesn't look as appetizing. What is it even? Porridge? Why would you put chocolate in it? And milk drizzled on top? She tells me my tastes are weird, yet here she is, handing me something equally as strange. In fact, she has already started digging in hers. I'm just not sure if the taste will be equally as appealing. Baffled, I glance her way. She offers no immediate answer, simply continues eating as if she hasn't done so in a week, with her focus solely on the television. She is not watching, however, just listening, as a background noise. As a background noise, the voices from it seems too cheerful, a welcome distraction if anything. It's only after she has finished off half of the bowl that she acknowledges the question in my eyes. With a sigh, she cradles the dish on her lap and looks down at it. Briefly her lips part, then closes. A hesitation, though I don't push her. There's a distant air on her, as if she has remembered something that warrants a poignant thought. When she speaks at last, it's in a tone too careful, like she is weighing her words, considering the proper phrasing for it. Yet, sincerity underlies each syllable once they're out in the open.
You should eat. Back at home, Mama would never let us leave the house if we hadn't eaten breakfast yet. Even Papa has got an earful when he tried. So eat. You'll need it.
She returns to her food afterwards, while I can only stare at the one she has proffered not a few minutes ago. Warm against my hands, tempting me to take a bite. Not that I don't appreciate this, but what good will this do? Zach and Rebecca's both out there. Who knows what the ghost will show up again? Who knows when that ghost will show up again? Even in our dreams we're not safe. But that's it, isn't it? We don't know when, and at present we have a chance at respite, maybe the only one we'll have. Even if it's as mundane as sharing food between us, quietly, just sitting side by side like this, without exchanging any words. The intent hangs unspoken in the air, something that probably goes as far back as the second she offered food. Still, in the end, Isabella's never pushes it. Rather, she lets her own silence convey her hope. Whether I'll allow myself that break, she leaves it up to me. Dude, just eat! You can't function on an empty stomach.
Thank you.
Right. Yay! Isabella likes you. Well, I don't actually like you yet. You're neutral to me. The words roll off my tongue, awkward and unfamiliar, far removed from those yeses and quips we've shared. Yet she accepts this with a smile and nothing more. Regardless of everything left unsaid, the sight of it brings comfort. More so than any generous offer of food can give. Though we both lapse into silence after, as we finish our food, there's this in it. In this. In this. In the muffled sounds of Luxburn filtering into the room. In the light streaming from her windows and the faint draft occasionally drifting in, catching the loose tendrils of her hair. In the way her voice falters when she tries to form words. And despite the horror looming over us, I find myself wishing for the minutes to slow, for the seconds to last. But ultimately, she's the one who breaks it. Softly, after a minute's pause, in words mumbled under her breath. Sometimes, silence simply compels us to speak.
I've been wondering, before last night, before Mama told me the news. What if Papa passes away, despite everything? That sort of thing. I know it's not good to think about, but I also knew it was getting worse. Mama won't say anything, but I've always known that one day, he'll eventually...
She releases a sigh as her grip on the bowl she still holds tightens. There are no tears, but she might as well have them with how weak her voice falls. Are there even any left?
I don't know what I'm going to do. Before, I can easily say it's because of Papa. Now, I don't have anything.
You have that scholarship from Lux U.
Were you going through my personal papers while I was sleeping last night?
Maybe.
I don't really have to. You left it sitting in the open, right there on the table.
Like there's still anything to hide, she snatches it away from her where I placed it back earlier. Except there's no anger or annoyance in her face when she looks at it and rereads every line with a pensive expression. After a short while, she folds it neatly along the creases and sets it back.
I don't even know if this will work out.
Well, if it doesn't, what about that exhibit you've been planning with Zach?
Do I even have to ask where you got that?
Zach sucks at lying. You have no idea how easy he is to read. It was all in his face when I asked about it. And anyway, if that doesn't pan out too...
I trail off, hesitating, measuring the weight of my next words. Genuine as they are, a part of me believes they're a burden, too heavy to impose upon her. Because no matter how much I want her to stay, we are not what ties her here. It'll be selfish to ask that of her. More than anything, her family will always come first. I say it nevertheless, if only to let her know that no matter what her choice will be, there will be people here whose lives her mere presence has changed. Mine, most of all.
You have us.
Oh. Now that took a different turn with that music. The words startled her to a pause, and slowly she turns to me, her eyes wide, disbelief all over her face. Ooh. With that journal update, is something blossoming here? But before regret forced an apology up my throat, her expression dissolves to something I can't quite place. Something distinctly softer, more tender, familiar. Almost in the same manner she glanced at me years ago, that day at the bridge. However, I don't get the chance to figure out what it all means for her.
Sup, I'm Ash from Deluxe City. Baggers watch out, can't beat me. Looking for trouble? Better not
Rebecca
lie.
is calling.
I'm a cool dude. Pretty fly for an Asian
All of a
guy.
sudden, my ringtone breaks the
Sup, I'm Ash
moment.
from Deluxe
Just as
City.
fast,
Baggers
both of
watch
our
out,
attention
can't
shifts
beat
towards
me.
the source.
Looking for trouble? Better not lie. I'm a cool
Before
dude.
things
Pretty
can get
fly for an
awkward
Asian guy.
fast, I stand up and leave the room while
Sup, I'm Ash
muttering
from
some
Deluxe
flimsy
City.
excuse to
Baggers
answer the
watch out,
phone.
Sorry, let me just take this call. It's probably Zach or Rebecca.
Really. I know we're in a pinch, but their timing can't get any worse. Unknown. Unrelated frustrations aside, once I step out of the room and accept the call, the stone that has been stuck in my stomach simultaneously lodges itself up my throat. The person on the other side of the line isn't who I'm expecting.
Right, Eli Frey, right? It's Officer Renz over at the precinct. You know, you bring me donuts to keep an eye out for you and shit.
Oh, yeah, right, Renz, what's up? You've, never called me through this line before. Is this something urgent?
Yeah, kinda. Something came up this morning. You know the big guy? Buddy.
Zack, it's Zack. Of course.
Big guy. Around 6 feet tall.
Zach?
I don't feel too good about this.
Yeah, him. Zachary Steele, I think.
What about him?
He's been detained and...
Wait, what?
What do you mean he's been detained?
They brought him in this morning.
That's not what I asked. What are the charges?
I don't know. Not my division. I'm not really supposed to be on the phone right now, but I thought you want to know. Anyway, I gotta go. If you want to see him, just drop by. Not sure how that'll work, though. The chief has a standing order not to let you into the precinct until Monday.
What?
Yeah. Thanks for the heads up.
I know he was supposed to not work and things like that, but have a standing order to keep him out. That's bad.
I'll bring you some coffee to go with those donuts, too, next time.
The call ends with a click while I'm left here reeling, staring blankly at my phone. It's just my luck that in this exact moment, Isabella chooses to peek out from her apartment.
Was that Zack? Is he gonna drop by?
Actually, I'm gonna read the journal update right now. Hopefully I don't spoil myself too much. Oh no, here. After leaving her, their friends sent an urgent message. Aston returned to Isabella's apartment. He found the girl already up and about, cooking. Seeing his exhaustion, Isabella reminds him that he should take care of himself first and offer him food. With a muttered thanks, he accepts. She's gonna call us very soon. And then... why can't we just go and get him right now? I have no idea how I look right now, but it must be far from anything pleasant. The curious expression on Isabella's face quickly melts away as soon as she chances a closer glance at me.
What's wrong, Ash?
I'm left with no other choice then. I'll tell her exactly as Officer Renz have said, and the more I spill, the more grim her countenance becomes.
Stay here. I'll go check on him. See what I can do.
No, I'll go with you.
Belle, I'm not going in there for a casual visit. Zach's in trouble and...
I know, but he's not the kind of person who'd do something that'll land him in prison. There must be a mistake.
Believe me, I'm on the same page as you, but...
I want to see him, all right?
And there it is again. The same sharp gleam that has been present in her eyes since yesterday. Little by little, I'm finding it difficult to say no to it. What other choice do I have too? Still no words on Rebecca and Zack. Isabella probably doesn't want to be the one who ends up waiting for the news. I know exactly how that feels, so in the end, a nod's the simplest response I can give.
Just let me turn off everything. I'll be out in a few.
Quickly, she disappears behind the door. From inside, the sound of her foot shuffling, a few locks clicking shut, and a television being turned off drifts out the hallway. Her whole business inside it takes only a few minutes, and within 5, we're both on our way to LPD. At least, we know where Zack is now. That explains why he's not answering his phone. And here is Rebecca, in here somewhere, currently being murdered. She's gonna jump from here, call us, and splat. God damn it. But what the hell did you do, Zack? He said he had a plan that might help, but if it got him into enough trouble to get himself in a cell, I don't think I like the plan of his. And hell yeah, I'm mad. I'm absolutely furious. It's just as Isabella said. I doubt Zack will get himself arrested because of an actual crime. We did break and enter though. But whatever stupid stunt he pulled to get there isn't any better. The only good thing today so far is the fact that the streets are nearly empty, so early on a Sunday morning. Very few pedestrians or virtually no other car on the road to get in the way of us rushing to the precinct. Within the speed limits, of course. A whirlwind of activities welcomes us as soon as we waltz into LPD HQ. Fellow officers are running here and there, pushing around paperwork and answering calls. It's almost Halloween and troublemakers are abound. Calls about pranks gone wrong make up most of it this time of the year, along with the occasional altercation or missing dog. Some of the other officers who work with me look up from their desks and wave, though none of them moves to stop us like I'm expecting. Standing order my ass. It probably didn't last a whole day. Although I'd like to have a chat with them sooner or later about official matters, I'm not here for them right now. Of course, it never hurts to see what they have for me, and the best person to ask for details in the precinct is the guy behind the booking window. He glances up at me once when I approach, then immediately returns to his task, indifferent. Not that I need his full attention. As long as he talks, I'm good. Next to me, Isabella stands wordlessly, clearly uncomfortable, waiting in anticipation from how close she is sticking to me. But that's probably because she has been in the same position so many times in her life. Her drunken brother, the eldest, a repeat offender. Mostly minor cases, but she had to be the one to bail him out every time, from what I've gathered. I can't imagine what's going on inside her head now that it has happened to a close friend. Hearing the way these guys talk about him must be worse.
Hey, I heard there's a new guy in the holding cells.
Not many here know Zack, and if they've seen him, they don't pay too much attention. I try to keep my work and personal life as far away from each other as I possibly can. Each one of them is quickly to chat, gossip, be the one to talk about the new detainee, and have everyone's attention.
News flies fast, huh? I just brought him in this morning.
This morning?
Any info on him?
Got his ass handed by some rich bloke's bodyguard. Or butler, whatever.
Yeah.
When we got to the scene, he's already been strung up and ready for pickup.
Wow! Damn. Yeah, Johans is very competent.
Hard to imagine how a guy like him could have been taken down. But the butler has this creepy air to him. I'd rather not ask.
What?
Feel sorry for the bloke. He could have fought back.
That's because Zack wouldn't hurt a fly.
All said under her breath, but her grip on her bag grows rigid. Unlike me, she's not frustrated at Zack. That ire is directed at the person who put our friend in this predicament. It's true though, Zack's not that kind of person, and knowing he might be in a bad state, whatever little anger I've built up for him on the way he dissolves into thin air.
Has he been booked yet?
No, still sleeping. Creepy butler probably hit him hard.
Yeah, which is a good thing. If they slip up and forget, we get him a writ of habeas corpus and take him out of here, depending on what he's actually been charged with. But at the same time, it's bad. How long is he going to be unconscious?
Your friend was caught on right property, and you better believe I'm not happy about this. Not one bit.
Hello, Lee. I want to say there must be some sort of misunderstanding. Zack isn't the type to do such a thing, unless this was his plan all along. In that case, I couldn't just charge him blindly into this without all the details, no matter how much I want to believe my friend's innocence. Right? Luke, right? What on earth was Zack thinking? In any case, it doesn't look like Chieftain is happy, even if I don't protest and give him a salute. Not pleased at all if the fact that he grabs me and pulls me aside is any indication. If I were to describe his expression, he looks ready to kill me.
I swear, Frey, if you're behind this, if you told Steele to stalk the rights because you were taken off the case, I'll...
I'm not stupid enough to ignore chain of command and go against official orders. Give me some credit, Chief.
And you better be sure you didn't. Luke Wright is coming here, and we both know he's trouble. I'd consider your friend lucky if he only gets charges put against him.
He's not gonna be lucky though.
Maybe if we can make sure he's in a good mood, he won't escalate the situation. Hell, maybe we'll have a bloody miracle and Steele only gets a slap on the wrist, but Lord knows it's unlikely with that man.
You know him well, Chief.
An observation, not an accusation. But it might as well be with how things pan out from the night of the housewarming party to the morning that followed. His wife's familiar with him too. Who's to say that friendship hasn't colored the investigation into Luke Wright? I don't want to accuse my superior, but damn it, makes it difficult.
Of course I do, shouldn't you? We've been looking into the guy for so long.
And then you took me out of the case.
I'd call you a bad detective if you can't even tell me whether he's right or left-handed.
That's an easy one. He's left-handed, but he's been taught to use his right. You can tell when he picks something up with his left hand, but when he realizes that, he moves it to the right.
Well, at least I don't have to question your ability.
I think that was a clue for how we're going to do things when we play as Luke Wright, honestly. A clue.
Anyway, if I were you, I'd either go and make myself scarce or sit down and shut up. Don't go aggravating people, basically, because you have a knack for that at the worst of times.
As much as I hate to say it, but he's right. It's better to keep my mouth shut and not make things worse for Zack. There's not much to do now but hope for the best. They don't call for an investigation when it comes to petty felonies. Worst case scenario, he's looking at a fine worth £5,000 and 6 months in jail. Best case scenario, we get the charges bumped down to a trespassing, a misdemeanor and a juvenile offense, and he'll be given a probation and will be charged for restitution. At this point, those seem to be the most likely outcome. I don't see how he could have been framed for breaking and entering, unless he was taken into somebody's property against his will. Even in my head, that sounds unlikely.
I don't know what you're talking about, sir. I think I'm a delight to be around.
Tell that to my blood pressure pills. Anyway, let me handle him, alright?
That's his death sentence. Right on cue, the moment Chief says that, you know who arrives. And like the arrogant show-off that he is, he makes sure his arrival is well noticed by everyone within the immediate vicinity. Behind me, Isabella gasps. She has no idea how much of a trash his previous client is. Now she's going to get a frontline view of it. The guy ignores the front desk even when Benjamin tries to greet him. He just blows past him, walks in all high and mighty as if he owns the place. Meanwhile, that creepy butler trails behind like a tame dog on his leash. It doesn't help either that the other officer stops whatever it is they're doing and stare. Whether it's out of suspicion, curiosity, or judging by some of the starstruck looks, they should quit it. Get back to work and stop giving the man the attention he's obviously seeking.
I'm here to report a crime.
And I just died on the inside now that I heard his voice again.
Of course, why else would you be here? You're either reporting something or being put behind bars, you imbecile. I'm going to...
That's kind of the deal with prisons though, and police departments. Calm down, Ashton. No need to rile myself up. I need to calm down. Not for him, not for myself, not for Zack. It's already difficult holding back when his face looks like it could use a good right hook. Better to just let the chief handle him. Sure enough, he's the first to walk up to him, bearing a smile way too friendly for comfort. Looking at them like this makes me sick to my stomach. It's easy to know there's something up underneath the guise of keeping up appearances.
I'll be happy to assist you with that, Mr. Wright. You'll have to issue your statements as victim and witness. We'll have to determine probable cause and properly file a criminal complaint. Of course, you understand.
Oh, I understand, though I don't see why you can't file that thing yourself. The cause is obvious, isn't it? who was breaking into my home in order to pilfer my belongings.
Well, we'll still need that police report. The prosecutor will be the one to determine what charges you can legally file against the accused.
Reports and prosecutors. Why should we law-abiding citizens suffer through all that?
Law-abiding, huh?
Thugs like him should be kept off the streets. I mean, it's so obvious who these people are. You can practically spot them.
Wait, hold up. Is this guy for real? Can he hear himself? He's not saying what I think he's saying, I hope.
We come here to our country, take advantage of our wealth and generosity, while we proper Brits work hard and pay our taxes. All the while they break our laws and ruin our civilized community. Trash like these should be kept contained. These uneducated...
Now, Mr. Wright. I know you're upset about what happened, but perhaps we should move to my office.
Of course. The sooner we can deal with the petty criminal, the better.
Can't believe the audacity of this guy. Did he really think himself better just because he was born rich?
I swear they should just ship these peasants back to where they came from.
Well, maybe he shouldn't have brought them here in the first place. Colonizing fuck.
They're all criminals. It can't be helped. It's in their genes.
Despite myself, in spite of every restraint I placed on me, upon hearing those words, I can't help but open my mouth. Chief's warning be damned. This is my friend he's fucking shitting on. Oh man, we can't... Oh, we have to do something. And if I rush him, we are gonna be put in a holding cell or something like that. Call him out. We could cause a complete ruckus here in the police department. Which means he's even less he's gonna like us even less. But it's not like he's gonna like us rushing him either. But I don't think rushing him will affect the relationship. Just calling him out will affect it.
They're all criminals? It's in their genes?
Yeah.
Come here and say that to my face, you bastard!
Ash, don't.
I realized my mistake only after her whispered plea reaches my ear. Isabella's fingers dig deep through the fabric of my jacket as she tries to hold me back. True, I shouldn't have put myself out on the spotlight like that. But this guy, this fucking guy...
Oh, and who is this loud young man?
He glances at me like I'm a flea, a pest. But it's more disgusting how fast his expression changes once he spots Isabella's behind me. Recognition flashes in his eyes the moment the attention turns to her.
I do recognize little Lily over there, though. Hello, long time no see. Is Pipsqueak your friend?
Yes, sir. I'm sorry. He didn't...
Don't apologize to him! He doesn't deserve it! I can't believe you're all just listening to his shit!
You have to calm down, Ash.
Should I kept my mouth shut?
Frey, stand down! I'm so sorry, Mr. Wright. Luke, you have to excuse him. He's under a lot of stress. Just got removed from a case and the man is an acquaintance, you see.
But I'm not taking any of my words back, because he is an utter bastard. From the way he stares at Isabella to what he has done to Zack, it all reeks of the rot that is Luke fucking Wright. Even after so many years, nothing has changed. He's still the same slimeball who does everything to get what he wants.
The thief is a friend of a cop? Now that is the start of a joke if I've ever heard one. A thief and a cop walk into a bar.
He's not a thief!
And yet we found him trespassing on my property.
It just sucks that Johans didn't recognize Zack. I mean, it could easily have been explained as, oh, you must know you do know the lady of the house.
There are eyewitnesses, and his grubby prints are probably all over my pristine walls as he was breaking in. Face the facts, little policeman. You've made the wrong sorts of friends.
He's not a criminal!
And that is the truth. But with the way everyone is looking at me right now, this must have been how Isabella felt when we won't believe her about the letter. Just the thought of that leaves a bitter taste in my mouth. And here she is, caught in the middle of this fight I've started.
Isabella, tell him! You know Zach. He's not the kind of person who'd do this shit!
Oh. They read the wrong line again.
Ash, we both know that. But yelling at him won't help Zach at all. Please.
Calm yourself, Frey. Unless you want me to throw you in a cell myself.
I understand you're upset that your friend is locked up, but the law is the law.
I truly, truly hope that I did the right thing here. I have no reason to believe that me being thrown into a cell next to Zack would help Zack survive. I just can't believe that.
And don't you worry, I won't be pressing charges against you. I don't know what charge, but I'm sure I can think of something if I need to. Do put a leash on your boyfriend, Lily. He might hurt himself. Being that angry can't be that good for his health.
I'm livid. Fist clenched and jaw tight, I'm nearly ready to just sock this guy good and make do on that promise of a right hook. My frustration about it all must have shown, because only now do I realize that aside from Isabella, the other officers have also jumped in to hold me back all this time. They don't even let go of me, until I put a good distance between me and a scumbag. And it's awkward, going on from there. The precinct is quiet, though the usual hustle and bustle of activity stayed. Everybody is making a concerned effort to shut their mouths about the whole scene. I wish they made the same effort to keep themselves from staring at me though. They all want to talk about what just happened. But at the same time, they don't want to acknowledge that it did happen and refuse to even make eye contact with me. All of it changes in the next second though. It doesn't even register to me until it has already occurred. Before I have the chance to leave, ready to march out the precinct, still angry and frustrated, all of a sudden Isabella, who has been standing close to me not a second ago, grabs a half-full glass of water off one of the officers' tables and dumps the entirety of its contents on Scumbag. And the expression on her? It's nothing short of seething.
You bloody...
It's been a pleasure doing business with you, sir.
Afterwards, she slams the drinking glass down on the table with a loud thud. With the whole precinct this still, the sound it creates echoes thickly along the walls, almost deafening. In the face of her temper, nobody dares move. But she doesn't give me time to relish the disbelief in Wright's face. She marches towards me soon after, and before I can even say anything, she grabs me by the wrist and drags me out of the precinct. Honestly, I've never seen something so satisfying in my life. Might as well be grinning from ear to ear, if I weren't feeling so pissed at a lot of things right now. Still would have loved to sock the bastard myself. Now, let's read the journal update. Yeah, good. Bad. An LPD officer informed Ashton of Zachary's detention. Immediately he rushed to the precinct with Isabella, where they met Luke Wright, there to file charges against Zack. When the detective confronted him, he was immediately ordered to stand down. Isabella, however... And that is where I cut off for today's episode. God damn it! They are dragging this out so much. Of course I don't want to... We're right outside the library. We might see her fall down from the roof. This is what I was afraid of from the whole time. We might see her do it, and as I was going to say, of course I don't want her to die, but it's also so far away, and I just want it to happen so it's finally over, basically. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. I will see you guys in the next one, and remember, just because you're not the main character, it doesn't mean you're not important. Goodbye, everyone.